The Great Group 7 is an exploration group of people with ambition who love to solve puzzles. Yama Juugo arrives on a man-made island called Nanae Island in the Pacific Ocean. It's known as the Special Student Zone that houses a number of free-spirited courses. When going to his new home, Juugo meets Maboro Shiki, the owner and the manager of the Happy House. At first he's taken aback with how well endowed she is, being a laid-back drunk who doesn't have a need for money, but would rather trust people on merit. Shiki also happens to be one of the original members of Group 7. Juugo lands himself in room 202. This is where he's unexpectedly meeting his new pudding-loving roommate, Nanana Ryuugajou. When he enters the apartment, he apologizes for intruding on her, then goes to tell the manager that someone lives here. The manager goes back to tell him that no people live here. When he points out that Nanana is there, she tells him that that's a ghost of a girl who was murdered 10 years ago. She tells him that this is in the contract. He can move out, but she's already been paid. Knowing that he doesn't have enough money to move out, he sits down to hear what the ghost has to say. Nanana tells him that she was stabbed 10 years ago from behind, so she doesn't really know who killed her. Yama, not buying it, asks her if he can shake her hand. His hands go right through hers. She can touch him, but he can't touch her. Now that he understands, she tells him that it's time to have a battle, this being a no-holds-barred, one-on-one fight, to see who will be the master of the room. Juugo is confused, but asked her what would it take for her to leave. Seeing that Nanana is a ghost bound to this room, she states that killing the person who killed her with her own hands. Juugo tells her that he'll do that for her. Nanana is taken aback, hearing this from him, but still wants to have a fight. The ghost eats pudding, watches TV, and plays online video games, and she doesn't want to give up that life, saying she would disappear if he won and just be quiet. But Juugo would rather have a lovey-dovey romance with the ghost. She agrees, and she'll pretend to be his girlfriend if he wins, motivating the boy. The battle is quick, with Nanana getting a nimble loop to dislocate his arm. Juugo isn't mad, seeing that he gets to touch her breast. Nanana warns him she'll really dislocate his hand, but he tells the ghost to not underestimate him, turning his hand groping her boobs, still keeping his pride. Having touched God's territory, in class, the student president, Yurika Yumeji, shows him around, with her dream being to be a novelist one day. Juugo encourages her to follow her dream, making her feel more comfortable, enough to tell Juugo that she misunderstood him, thinking he would be self-centered, finding him really attractive. At home, the two get along, but him wishing she wouldn't play games all night, seeing that she doesn't need to go to sleep. While using his phone in the restroom for a long time, he finds a secret notebook directed to the house user, being the ghost's manual. It has been made by Kasumi Kojo. It's a manual for people who have an interest in the ghost, telling him to go to the adventure club to solve Nanana's collection. Nanana is lonely and has been in this room for 10 years, not able to leave. The manual makes him want to save her. For Kasumi, at school he researches Nanana, being the creator of the island, for young people to pursue their dreams, where he finds out that his manager is actually the 4th most important person on the island, being a single woman who's looking for a boyfriend who will buy her alcohol, who wants to know if Jugo's interested, where he outright denies her advances. 7 geniuses had a flawless plan to build an island, and to have enough money to make it possible. Nanana's treasure is worth hundreds of billions of dollars in unique items that grant the user powers. The group tried all they could, but they couldn't do anything more for Nanana. In an unknown location, a thief is fleeing the crime scene, while a young detective and a maid arrive, but dropping the treasure in an alley. This is where Juugo picks it up. In their home, Nanana goes over the item, being a light-up lie detector, being part of her collection. A beautiful maid rings Jugo's doorbell with a smelly detective. The master detective, Ikkyu Tensei, calls Jugo a thief, barging into their bath, stripping as soon as she walks into the house. Her maid Hoshino Daraku tries to cover up her body. Nanana smacks Jugo for sniffing the air, like a pervert, and then gives a stare at him for being on tape, caught for having a preference in tan maids. When he tries to stop the tape, Daraku subdues him, and he's shocked to find out that he happens to not be a boy, but a trap. The two take the jewel back, to just be arrested later on for carrying the goods. Darako and Tensei enroll into the school. Yu is dressed in glasses and a maid costume to entice Jugo into joining the adventure club. Yoega is the one who called him in, being the president of the club. After looking around, Jugo turns around and leaves, to then receiving a clothesarm from hell by Yu, is then viciously stomped and then repeatedly punched, fantasizing about maids the entire time. Sad that his fantasy keeps fooling him, the group goes to pay their respect to Nanana and offers her a gift of pudding. The two of them talk about what they're after, Nanana not caring who takes her treasure, with Nanana asking why Jugo wants to do this, with him replying with he's interested in her. He then asked her where the treasure is, Nanana refusing, wanting him to find it for himself to have fun. Juugo, Tensei, and Daruku want to join the club. Juugo has to clear their test, that being a trap room to get to a chest. In the classroom, each time you step on a trap desk, it shoots him 2 stories out of the building in a random side. Juugo and Daruku run ahead without thinking, doing this over and over again, but Tensei knows it's a pattern and is looking around the classroom for books or corresponding ideas like the class itinerary, and finds out that the path glows every time you solve the puzzle. The group wants a hint in finding a ruin, so Juugo has to complete Pretend Lover's Trial. The first ruin is inside of a glass mall building in a vacant room. Tensei finds the room with the president unlocking the passcode. The room is a hexagon-shaped glass prison with certain death if you fall, with a mechanical spider that breaks the glass, to then repair it afterwards. The spider moves into a set pattern, then repairs the glass if no humans are there, taking 5 minutes to harden, meaning they have to take the newly formed path to win. Tensei is able to solve this, and Juugo distracts it while the president clears the last hurdle. Isshin gets the staff, which allows him to wish for anything he wants to do. For this instance, he teleports away. He can also put people to sleep and freeze people, leaving the 2 of them there to fall. The 2 of them get embarrassed, being in each other's arms to stay alive. When the police arrive to help them out, they turn out to be the thief, and they mug Juugo. Isshin goes to make a deal with Shujin, being the administrator for the island, and the former roommate of Nanana. The future Sight told her she would be killed if she would pursue the killer, but she predicted the next roommate would be able to solve the mystery for her. At the side of the meeting, Tensei asks Juugo to let her be embraced by him, to only pull a gun on him because he's an imposter. Being Shu, the fake police officer, and the thief, those 2 are busy, allowing Juugo to make a deal with Yukihime. Juugo asks Yukihime to fight alongside him. Yukihime gets the orb that allows her to tell when someone's lying to him, and Juugo gets to have her fight alongside with him. But the orb happens to be fake. Yukihime fights Yu, while Juugo fights Isshin, who has the most powerful weapon in the collection. The staff grants the owner any wish they can imagine. The president reveals that he wanted to take over the world, with this being his dream. Juugo realizes that the president is an idiot for having such a dream. The president pities him for not having a dream. After the president casts multiple spells, the cane runs out of energy. Juugo lectures him about only seeing the benefits of the cane and not having Nanana teach him. In Jugo's eyes, not perceiving his dream clearly, with having poor planning and being over-reliant on the cane. Jugo was about to finish him off, but he saw that all his ambition was gone, so he simply asked for the cane, to only get knocked out by Kagatora, with the group fleeing, to only be cornered later on by Tensei, who asked for Shunju's government assistance, giving the group the money for the cane. Tensei reveals that she already knew about Jugo's past by hacking into his phone when they were alone together. Jugo gets a call from his father asking him how the island life is treating him, getting right to the point, saying he doesn't love anyone, not enough to actually give them everything he has, having strength but not using it for other people, lecturing him, to only ask him later on if he'll come back to the company, with Jugo refusing and lying. Well, that's where we're going to leave off in this video. As always, if you liked the video, make sure to subscribe to the channel, and I'll be uploading more videos just like this one. So I'll see you next time.